I'm Draginija and I have been living in Poland since 1994. And for last 6 years, I have been working in Amnesty International here in Poland. It is hard to say that I actually chose Poland. It was rather that Poland chose me because at that time in my home country there was a war, and I just wanted to leave that region as far as possible, and I got a scholarship in Poland. That's why I came to Poland. Amnesty is an organization that is active in whole world for last more than 50 years, but here in Poland and other countries of former Eastern Bloc, they just started actually to be active as organizations at the beginning of 90s. And in my organization, there's a lot of good spirit and a lot of efforts actually to mobilize Poles, to give them a message that they can change the world using their own free time, sometimes very short time. They can change the world because they are free and they can do things together with other peoples who are still free. I remember recently when we organized some actions on behalf of Syria and the people in Syria who are experiencing dramatical, tragical, actually civil war. We collected Amnesty as a research organization, most of all, collected very sad testimonies about civilians in different parts of Syria. And we organized action in the front of embassy. A lot of people from Syria who are living here in Poland join us, and they say, thank you. We feel that you don't forget us, and that's the most important feeling. And I remember actually in 1993, there was in Sarajevo who was actually surrounded by Bosniak Serbs. People were really living in a very tragical way, and even then there was contents for Miss Sarajevo, and it was really like an attempt, an effort to even for a moment to go back to some normal way of living and to have a normal life, to win the war. So I often, working in Amnesty, I often have this feeling that what I am trying to do and what I am getting from that job is actually the feeling that I'm fighting the bad guys and I'm fighting injustice, and that's also something that we are doing right now on behalf of Syria, on behalf of people in Sudan, on behalf of people in many countries that are experiencing war and a really grave violation of human rights. I discovered in Poland a very impressive world of activism, of social activism, and I really like that most of the Polish people that I met are very curious about the world. So they do feel like that they were born in Poland, but also they want to discover what is behind the borders. They want to travel all over the world. Very often they don't care really about the comfort of the traveling. In the same time, I also like very much those people who are conscious about their own role here in their own local society. So they are very active and they don't think only about globally of what's happening in the world, but also think about making small steps to change their local communities. When When I was at the beginning of my studies, one colleague of mine told me that I'm alien, that I behave as a person from someone from Mars. And I wanted to say that it's not true. I'm not an alien. I'm just a simple person from Earth. And so I wanted to say I'm ziemnianin, zwykły ziemnianin. But I made a mistake and I said I'm zwykły ziemniak, which means that actually I'm just an ordinary potato. So next time when I met him, he brought me to potato. I said, okay, this is your monument. So. I came in Poland with the impression that I will meet people from socialistic countries, but not that type of socialism that I knew from my home country, that was former Yugoslavia, but very much more difficult, with much more difficult history. So I expected towns to be gray and people to be a little bit unhappy. So my first impression was completely different. What I saw was actually Warsaw that was huge and flat, but it was also empty because I came in August and almost all people were on the holidays. There was a lot of sun, and those people that I met on the street, they were smiling all the time. So it was a very big surprise. My country, let's say it was former Yugoslavia because it was a country where I grew up. Still in 90s, it was a country that was not really religious. I mean, there was very few people who used to go to church and who were religious. And when I came here, it was very obvious that religion is much more present in everyday life, not only in private lives of people who go to church and believe in God, but also in a public life. So it was one of these first differences that I pick up. The first impression also about Polish cuisine was very funny because I heard about borscht and I was very curious what is it like. So I like it from the beginning. It's still my favorite part of the Polish cuisine. On the other hand, when I came here, I was vegetarian, and it was sometimes a little bit tricky to explain in the milk bar that I don't eat meat, which also means that I don't eat animal fats, etc. I missed a lot some things. I missed a lot some kind of cheese and first of all fruits and the vegetables that just smelled differently. It's sometimes easy to see that people in my home country have difficulties to distinguish Poland from the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and what is the language like, etc. But historically, they always used to perceive Poland as a country where everything is cheap. Of course, it was during the socialist time, but there's no so many to buy in the same time. Now it's rather seen, the country is rather seen as a country who is building its position, and it's step by step actually building the new country, and also building the new standards of living for the inhabitants.
Pozdrawiam internautów Wirtualnej Polski. Pozdrawiam internautę Wirtualnej Polskiej.